Good afternoon and welcome to Tiger Softball on the Washita Sports Digital Network presented by Taylor King Law. I'm your play-by-play commentator Chris Gay, joined by my color analyst Isaac Bourne. Thank you. This is the second game of this conference series between the two OBUs of the Great American Conference. Washita Baptist University hosting Oklahoma Baptist University, coming over from Shawnee, Oklahoma. Well, just a recap of yesterday's Game 1, Oklahoma Baptist would take the 6-4 win, but not before almost coming up on upset alert for a little bit, as they had the 5-0 lead for the majority of that game, and then Washita had 3 runs in the 5th inning and started coming back a little bit more. So that was a very exciting game, and it was definitely a treat for the fans here at PC Langston Field. And Isaac, I think we might see another game just like that today.
And Chris, it was just a couple feet away from being a Tiger walk-off win last night with 2 outs in the final inning. Remington Adam hits a deep ball to the back of the left field, barely missing the outfield wall, and that right there would have put the Tigers up 7-6 in the bottom of the final inning. And today they're hoping that they can finish the job because of just these games that have happened recently where the Tigers have been in position to win and just haven't been able to finish the job.
Well, the starting pitcher for Washita is Hannah Hunter, and she gets us started with strike number 1, but she's up first against Addie Reese, the second baseman. Well, it is a beautiful day here in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. It's a hot day. It's probably only in the 70 degrees, but for all of us Arkansans or Southerners that are not used to the hot weather just yet, it was just cold a couple weeks ago.
Well, this morning when I woke up at around 8 a.m., it was below 60, and it's gotten hot real quickly. And with wind coming in spurts, where you'll see wind at some points and then no wind at some points, it is a very odd day. But I mean, that's just Arkansas weather for you, Chris.
Well, that is the local weather report brought to you by the Washita Sports Digital Network. That's another low and inside pitch. That's going to be ball 2.
You see Hunter starting off this game trying to catch Reese on the inside corner and just barely missing it there, but Hunter has excelled at that this season.
Here's the pitch. Again, another inside ball, and that's going to be ball 3 in a full count with the first at-bat on the afternoon. Well, of course, it is a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day for sports in any kind, as that one's going to be fouled off in front of the party deck. But just before the game started, I thought I could hear the PA announcement of the Henderson red and white game. I'm pretty sure their football team is having the red and white game. So I know the Arkansas Razorbacks, they're having their red and white game this afternoon.
Just a great time for, like you said, a great time for sports with spring football going on. I know Washita had their spring football game last weekend here at Cliff Harris Stadium, and then Monday, Cliff Harris Stadium hosted the Eclipse Party.
That is right. Yes, on Monday we had the Eclipse Party right here at Cliff Harris Stadium, and that was a lot of fun. I mean, obviously that was an incredible thing to witness. I mean, I witnessed the last one in 2017, as that's going to be, and she's going to be out, and it's going to be so close to a double play for Washita, but she is safe at third. It was a great throw, getting it to first and getting the out, and Lauren Lesser had a great throw to Bailey King at third, but just could not get there in time.
And you saw Hannah Hunter with the awareness to run over to third base, and I thought she got her there, but now with Reese moving into even further into scoring position here already to start off the game, Hunter is going to need to keep her offense or her defense on watch. And then as you see there, Aaron Williams stepping out, trying to keep Reese honest on that third base there.
Well, I just got delivered a nice bag of miniature Reese's cups.
And in a very kind way today, as last night he was Chris.
Yes, it was courtesy of Ace Collins, who gave us a couple paydays. Well, I say gave us paydays. He proceeded to toss them, and we're kind of busy. We can't exactly catch a payday bar. Now, if the softball came our way, we'd have to catch it, but one hit my headset, and everybody in our production trailer thought, oh.
Looks like a little bit of a lapse in judgment there by Lester, and she throws the ball right at Adler there in the base path.
Well, she was trying to get it to Williams at home. Her view was obstructed by Adler there. But she was trying to get it to Aaron Williams, the catcher at home, to make the out at home, but
and Lester, usually known for her cerebral ability to stay calm under a lot of situations, just I think just got a little carried away and allowed that first run. But it being early in the game, it's definitely not something they need to worry about at the moment. Just down 1-0. The focus right now is just to keep the Bison off the board further than they already been on.
I think it was more so she was trying to make a play, and she physically could not in that moment, and Adler just was sort of in the way there, just took a blow. So, but regardless, Oklahoma Baptist has struck first for the first time today. 1-0 is the ball game. 1-0 is the count, or excuse me, 0-1 is the count. And she's going to go. That's going to be Allie Ryan. And her first at bat is walked, and the infield is going to come and have a conversation with Hannah Hunter.
I think right now you see Aaron Williams, the veteran on this team, just trying to calm her defense down, because you've just seen two plays in a row there where maybe just the jitters of starting the day might have got a hold of them, and so Aaron Williams, bringing her senior leadership to this defense, is just trying to reassure everybody that it's just the first inning and that anything can still happen.
One out on the board here in the top of the first. This is Morgan Max at the play, and that's going to be strike. Oh, well, I do not have the best angle. It sure looked like a strike to me, but if the fans don't groan, then I think it's the right call by the umpire. But 1-0 is the count. Here's the pitch. That's going to be outside, and that's going to be ball 2. I got that one right that time. Well, Morgan Max, the junior from Moore, Oklahoma, she's the lone Division I transfer on this Oklahoma Baptist roster. Actually, the lone Division I transfer out of either of these teams. There are plenty of junior college and other D2, NAIA, D3 transfers on both squads, but coming from UT Arlington, she does set herself apart, but she's had quite the season for the Bison. Recorded 43 hits, 26 runs, 36 RBIs. That's not even number 1 on the team. And it started in all 41 games she has played in, and she is just shy of a 400 batting average, has one of the top batting averages in the conference, and she is going to walk to first. And early on, we have bases loaded as Shelby Warden heads to the plate, the senior, the product of Oil Trough, Arkansas, the lone Natural State player on this Bison team, but Oil Trough, Arkansas, and graduated from Southside High School and up in the northeast corner of Arkansas.
Oil Trough is actually just a couple miles down the road from cities that you might know, such as Batesville or Cave City, the hometown of Ouachita's own Caitlin Province. So I'm sure that she's played against a couple of these players before from Ouachita.
And that's a home run. That is a grand slam for Oklahoma Baptist. Shelby Warden, the second pitch she saw, and she sends it over the wall for her first home run of the season. Well, if you're Ouachita, that is not the way you want to start out. This is sort of very similar to what we saw last night, where Oklahoma Baptist did have a 5-0 lead, but they did not have that in the first inning.
Well, what a way to start the game for the Bison, just coming out and taking hold of this game in the base path. And now it's Ouachita's job just to calm their nerves, not to let anything harrow them too much, because like I said, it's just the first inning, and a 5-0 lead is not insurmountable because they showed that last night. And so just to keep it down and make sure not to make any crazy plays or let anything get out of hand too much.
Well, now batting for the Bison is Abby Laskowski, the freshman from Hemet, California. Here's the pitch. She's starting today at catcher. It was Samantha Campos last game.
And there you can hear the wind start to pick up a little bit with a little bit of a short burst. Feels really good here with the temperature rising very quickly here at Pete Langston Field.
Yeah, it's going to be strike number 1, so 3-1 is the count. That's going to be high. That's going to be ball 4.
And Hannah Hunter, that is her second walk of the day. She walked Addie Reese earlier as the first batter, and it looks like that's going to.
We're going to have a pitching change, and we are not out of the top of the first. How often do you see that? Well, trying to see her jersey number. It's going to be Cody Batchelor, who's pitched a number of times this season for Ouachita. She's a sophomore out of Poen, Arkansas. I always say it wrong. But let's see what she can do, and we will get to see what she does. And we're going to take a timeout while she warms up. You're watching Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. Two 2-1 is the count. 1 out on the board still. This is Cassidy Morrow, who's starting today at left field. Batting now for the Bison. Williams trying to make the out at second, and yes, she will! What a play from Aaron Williams to Remington Adams, getting the out at second.
And what a momentum change for the Tigers. They really needed that in this inning where they've already allowed 5 runs, but something that they can definitely carry into this next half inning and possibly try to tighten this game just a little bit.
And that's going to be ball 4, and Morrow's going to head to first. And Sydney Adler at the bottom of the lineup for the Bison is out there now. Adler, the senior from Rose Hill, Kansas. He's recorded 13 hits, 12 runs, 3 RBIs on the year. Frankly, she has struggled to hit the ball for the Bison this year, hitting 178. That's going to be inside. That's going to be ball 2.
And with this at-bat, the Tigers just hope to stop the bleeding here in this first inning and try to get themselves on offense to try to tighten the score. But you see here with a runner on first, anything can still happen here.
That one's in the dirt. That's going to be ball 3, and Coach Jackson's going to have a conversation with his pitcher. It has not been a pretty start for Ouachita's pitching. Hannah Hunter, who started the game, and keep in mind, we're still in the top of the first inning. Hannah Hunter allowed those 5 runs thanks to a grand slam after allowing 1 run earlier. And Cody Batchelor sitting with a 3-0 count with Sydney Adler at the plate.
And now you see in the Ouachita bullpen, some pitchers, looks to me like some pitchers are getting ready just because of the pitching struggles so far. Now, they're not quite warming up yet, but you at least see some preparations over there.
Here's the pitch. That's going to be ball 4. So first and second are occupied. Cassidy Morrow at second and Sydney Adler at first. So still 2 outs on the board, and we are back to the top of the lineup for the Bison. And it's Addie Reese. Here's the pitch. That's right down the middle that time. That's going to be strike number 1.
And I'm sure Batchelor is glad to hear that, just because she's had a bit of a rough start, but hoping to get back on track here with that strike.
That's going to be high. That's going to be ball 1. Yeah, that was actually, I believe, just her first strike of the day earlier. And it's going to be strike number 2.
And Batchelor now finds herself with the advantage in the count, 1-2 count. Hopefully trying to end this inning here with a strike or some type of put out.
Here's the pitch, and that's going to be high and outside. That's going to be ball 2.
And now in the Ouachita bullpen, you're going to see, looks like Maggie Huddleston at least getting her arm ready. Huddleston last night was very close to holding down the fort for the Tigers and being able to get a comeback, just barely coming short.
Yep, but they also have Hannah Hunter in the bullpen. And of course in softball, even though you take out a pitcher, you can bring her right back in if you want to. And imagine maybe her working out the kinks or the jitters. That's something they want to see. That's going toward the left field wall. That's up against the wall. 2 runners are home for Oklahoma Baptist, and they extend this lead to 7.
What a performance in this inning for the Bison. They have just gotten whatever they've wanted off the bat today, and now 7 runs deep in just the first inning. It's going to be a big hole to climb out of for the Tigers in the next frame.
Here's the pitch, and that's going to be strike number 1 with Sammy Green at the plate. Green, the junior from Clovis, California, an alum of Emmanuel High School. Here's the pitch. She's going to swing at that one, and she gets up under it, and finally Ouachita gets out of the inning, but not before allowing 7 runs on the board. Let's see what Ouachita can do here in the bottom of the first. You're watching Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Captain Henderson House. We're a home to call your very own when you're away from yours, with a porch to end your night on, surrounded by friends, sharing stories and old times, and a yard with memories of summertime weddings and picnics after the game. We are so thankful for the life this house has seen for nearly 150 years. Come stay with us and join in on our stories. Captain Henderson House, Inn and Events.
Welcome back to Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law. Well, if you're just now joining us, Ouachita allowed 7 runs in the top of the first inning. It's not been a pretty afternoon for Ouachita's pitching, but let's see if their batting can help clean this game up a little bit. Well, pitching for the Oklahoma Baptist Bison is Maggie Place, the freshman from Goldsby, Oklahoma. She closed for the Bison last game, and she did a pretty solid job and got away with the win.
She was recorded for the save last night, as Kaylee Jones was the one who got the win, but a great save for Place and holding down the fort. Still, she did allow those 4 runs, so I'm sure the Tigers are. Well, she actually allowed just 1 run, excuse me, in the game, but hoping here that she can rebound off that performance.
Well, leading off for Ouachita is the freshman Bailey King. She'll let that one go down for strike number 1. This is King's 120th at-bat on the year. 29 hits, 20 runs.
And one thing to watch for Bailey King, if she can get on base, and she can't here, but if she can, she's a very dangerous base runner, 7 for 8 on stolen bases for the year.
Yep, Ouachita's best base runner will go back to the dugout, but Lauren Lester, the product of North Little Rock High School, at the plate now for Ouachita. Here's the pitch. That's going to be outside. That's going to be ball 1.
Lester recorded 2 hits last night in the loss as the first game of this series, and she has been a regular in this lineup to be productive at the plate, and today she's hoping to repeat some of that success.
Well, frankly, she's been a contributor for Ouachita's lineup for the last 4 years, and now in just the first year of Coach Jeff Jackson's tenure. This is swing and a miss. It's going to be strike 1. But looking at some of her stats, this is her 121st at-bat. She has 35 hits and 14 RBIs, 1 home run on the year. That one's going to be in the shallow left field, and that's going to be the first hit of the day for Ouachita, courtesy of Lauren Lester. And now Aaron Williams heading to the plate to hit for Ouachita.
And Lester, that's what she did yesterday. She's able to get the ball right in that outfield gap. Yesterday hitting the right field gap to start the game. Today hitting the left field gap, and now recording yet another hit on the season.
And Williams, she's going to be safe at first. Well, Williams struggled last night, but right away the first pitch she sees is going to be a hit for the senior out of Stuttgart, Arkansas. And now Remington Adams heads to the plate for Ouachita.
And the seniors showing out to start this half inning. You see Lester and Williams assuring their offense that this game is far from over, even though they are in a 7-0 hole right now.
That's a swing and a miss by Adams. Well, last night Adams had runners on base, and she was very close to recording that walk-off home run that would have won the game for Ouachita 7-6, but it just didn't quite get enough. Let's blame the wind on that. There's going to be an out at third, and it'll be a double play as Oklahoma Baptist escapes the inning without allowing a run. Well, Ouachita will be back out in the field. Let's see if they can stop the bleeding some more. You're watching Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Visit the Ouachita campus store for all your Tiger apparel, merchandise, and gifts. If you need something to wear to show your Tiger pride, stop by the Ouachita campus store on the bottom floor of the Evans Student Center to grab a t-shirt, sweatshirt, polo, or more. If you can't stop by the store on campus, visit us online at bookstore.obu.edu. Make your purchase and we'll send it to you. Support the Tigers by checking out the Ouachita campus store. Go Tigers.
And welcome back to Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Chris Gay, joined by my color analyst, Isaac Bourne. Well, this game has not been the most interesting for Ouachita fans as Ouachita trails 7-0 in the top of the second. Ouachita's already gone through a new pitching change with Cody Batchelor pitching now for Ouachita. It was Hannah Hunter to start. It's possible that Hannah Hunter's day is not done, but we will see what Ouachita can do here. Of course, Oklahoma Baptist started out very well, and of course, Emily Adler will be leading off the inning for the Bison.
Bit of a staff change for the Tigers to start the inning as well. You see Hope Johnson out in left field. She has been a very productive outfielder in the game she's played last weekend in the win against Harding. Excuse me, not Hope Johnson, that is Carly Burrow. Excuse me about that. I thought that it was a lineup change. It was not.
Well, it is kind of hard to see the jersey numbers from way up here. But Carly Burrow, the freshman,
is going to remain in the field. I did think there was a bit of a lineup change.
But she's one of those unique players on Coach Jackson's roster. She's listed as a pitcher, but also has spent plenty of time in the outfield. And she's a pretty solid hitter for Ouachita as well, just as a freshman. So the count's going to be 1-2 early on here for Adler.
Bit of a different scene for Batchelor. Last inning having a couple struggles from the circle, but here now with the advantage in the count to start the inning, maybe turning over a bit of a new leaf here.
Well, she was put in a difficult situation, and let's see if there's going to be an out by Burrow. Yes, it will! Out number one of the inning by the freshman Carly Burrow. There is no need to take her out. That's going to be out number one of the inning, as we have Allie Ryan, the team's best hitter at the plate for Oklahoma Baptist. She's recorded 39 hits on the season, 27 runs, 41 RBIs, and 15 home runs. Now, Ouachita was able to keep her contained last night, but she's already gotten on base so far this afternoon. Here's the pitch. And she swings at that one, but misses. 1-1 is the count.
And Batchelor got her stuck on the inside corner, and just enough there to force a swing. Great pitch there.
Here's the pitch. And that's going to be strike two. She was watching it the whole way through, but she would not swing at that one. Probably should have. Here's the pitch. And it's a swing and a miss. Strikeout number one on the day for Cody Batchelor.
And it's going to keep Allie Ryan off the base paths and away from another home run as she leads the GAC in that category.
Here's Bachelor's pitch. That's going to be in the dirt. That's going to be ball one. One zero is the count. 2 outs on the board. That's going to be ball two. That's going to be strike number one. So 2-1's the count. 2 outs on the board, nobody on base for Oklahoma Baptist, with Morgan Max at the plate. Here's the pitch, and goes right to Lester. Call it out, number 3, as we exit the top of the second. Let's see if Ouachita can finally add some runs to the board. You're watching Tiger Softball here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Make Print Mania in downtown Arkadelphia your place to get embroidery, screen printing, trophies, and more. Drop by their store on Main Street in downtown Arkadelphia or visit their website at printmaniatees.com to see how they can help your business or group. Need a shirt for an event? Let Print Mania take care of that. Need promotional materials for your business or organization? You can let Print Mania take care of that too. A family-run local business in Arkadelphia, Print Mania has been serving the public since 1992. Call Print Mania today, 870-246-3803.
7-0 is your score here in the bottom of the second at P.T. Langston Field on the campus of Ouachita Baptist University.
And you see the Oklahoma Baptist Bison sporting the yellow jerseys today, as Ouachita in the purple. So we've got a hybrid, a great match of colors today on the field as we have our first batter of the inning, Caitlin Province.
Maggie Place pitching for Oklahoma Baptist. That's going to be strike number one.
Caught her on the low inside corner. Province couldn't do anything there. Just a great pitch by Place.
Here's the pitch, and that's going to be down for strike number two.
And starting off the inning 0-2, a great way to carry that momentum for the Bison.
Here's the pitch, and that's going to be high. That's going to be ball one.
Caitlin Province has shown in these past few games that she's not afraid to watch a ball go by with 2 strikes, and they're making a veteran play as just a sophomore, watching that go high.
That's going to be outside. That's going to be ball two. 2-2 is the count with the sophomore, Caitlin Province, at the plate. As we mentioned, Shelby Warden of Oklahoma Baptist from Oil Trough, Arkansas, which is out near Cave City, Arkansas, which is, of course, where Caitlin Province is a product of. Full count here. Here's the pitch, and that's going to, I think it made contact, doesn't matter, it was a walk regardless, and Province gets on base for the first time today for Ouachita.
And Place will record just her 14th walk of the game, or walk of the season. She's been typically pretty accurate from the circle, but there gives the Tigers their first base of the inning.
Now it's Marley Huddleston pitching for the Tigers. That one's going to be in the dirt. That will be ball one. Well, Huddleston, this is her 30th at-bat on the year. She's recorded 9 hits, 2 of them are doubles, and 3 RBIs. Gets on base about 34% of the time. Here's the pitch. That's going to be an inside ball as well.
And you see the wariness of Laskowski there, the catcher from the Bison, just looking at Province, because Province in her own right has shown her base running prowess this season. She's stolen 5 bases this season in 8 attempts. So she can run the bases when she needs to.
Here's the pitch, and that will be down the middle. That will be strike number 1. So 2 balls and 1 strike here.
Huddleston showing bunt here.
That's what she tries to do, but goes behind her. That's going to be strike number 2. So 2-2 is the count. No outs. Province on first. And Huddleston at the plate for Ouachita. Here's the pitch. And it's a swing and a miss by Huddleston. And now Riley Gillis heads to the plate for Ouachita.
Gillis last night had a good performance in her own right, playing pretty well at that second base position, and then also recording an RBI to send Remington Adams home and get that 4th run of the game yesterday.
That will be strike number 1. Will Gillis, the sophomore from Sheridan, Arkansas, on the year. He's recorded 9 hits, 5 runs, 5 RBIs, and has an even 200 batting average. That goes right to right field, and that will be an easy out. Out in right field by Sydney Adler. So that's going to be out number 2 of the inning, as Jordan Merritt heads to the plate for the Tigers. Well, last night it seemed like it was all the young players making a difference for Ouachita, and Jordan Merritt was one of them. She's definitely come through for Ouachita at select times this year, despite her being one of the many freshmen in this Ouachita roster. She's one of 3 freshmen starting today.
And Chris, get this stat. If you look at the Ouachita lineup, there are just 2 upperclassmen starting today. And that's been the story for the Ouachita Tigers this season.
And she's going to be safe at first and trying to go to home, but Province is going to stay put at third. It looked for a moment like that might have been an out for Oklahoma Baptist, the 3rd out, but the first baseman of Shelby Warden couldn't make the out, couldn't hold on to the softball.
And now Carly Burrow, who pitched a little bit last night, is now going to get a chance at an RBI with Province sitting on 3rd here.
Yep, she started the game last night. That's going to be strike number 1, but she was replaced by Maggie Huddleston.
And I'm sure the Tigers would want to get just a little bit of momentum here in any type of way and just get 1 run on the board.
Well, they are within striking distance. That one's going to take a wobble, and that's going to be strike number 2.
And with the top of the lineup coming up, as you see Bailey King on deck, I'm sure that with Burrow here, she would want to keep the lineup alive, especially with 2 base runners here.
That's going to be outside, trying to steal first. Oh, she's in no man's land. Trying to look for home. She's going to be safe at home. What a play by Caleb Province. The first run on the day for Ouachita. That is some excellent base running by the Tigers, and they finally get on the board for the first time today. 7-1 is your score, but Ouachita still within striking distance. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be bombed. That will not be fair. That's going to go behind the Langston Creek.
And going back to that last play, you saw Jordan Merritt get to second on a fielder's choice there, with Reese electing to send it down to home plate. And so that little mistake right there, instead of trying to get the tag or anything like that is going to cost them a run.
And that's going to be strike 3 and out number 3 of the inning. So Ouachita finally adds to the score. So the score is 7-1 in favor of Oklahoma Baptist, but we'll have more Tiger softball action after the break.
At Taylor King Law, we understand that being injured can be a stressful and overwhelming experience.
And that's why we're here to help you every step of the way.
As your dedicated legal team, we'll stand by your side when you're being ignored.
We'll be on your side to fight for the compensation you deserve.
Don't let the insurance companies intimidate you. Let us go to work for you.
Call us today and let us help you get back on the road to recovery.
On your side, by your side. When you've been injured, we're here for you.
And welcome back to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network presented by Taylor King Law. And just a little fun fact about OSDN here. Yesterday was the ACMA Awards that was hosted in the Walker Conference Center here at Ouachita Baptist University, and OSDN, and rightfully so, deservingly so, was awarded the Arkansas College Media Association TV Outlet of the Year. So you are watching the best TV outlet of the year. This is something special. Don't you agree, Isaac?
I do agree. And then also, Chris, I know you're being just a little bit humble here, but Chris also came away with 2 first place awards in the award show as well.
I appreciate it. Well, it was for podcasting. This is not a podcast. That's why I opted not to mention it. Yeah, that's going to be strike number 1 for Cody Batchelor as Shelby Warden is at the plate. I mentioned earlier in her previous at-bat, she's the product of Oil Trough, Arkansas, a town of only about 250 people. That's going to be popped into right field. She can't get up under it, but she will secure it. So that's going to be an early single for Shelby Warden, and Oklahoma Baptist is on base first in the inning. Abby Laskowski, the freshman catcher, at the plate for the Bison. That will be a little low. That's going to be ball 1.
And if you look into this lineup for the Bison, only 2 players, yes, I said it, only 2 players have not made it across home plate in this game with that very productive 7-run first inning. And so now as they step up to the plate again, number 18 Laskowski is one of those 2 players that has not made it to home plate in this game, and the Tigers are surely trying to keep her off trying to keep her off there.
1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 runner on base. And that's going to be a slow pitch, but that will be strike number 2 for Cody Batchelor.
And Batchelor has come into her own since being put in that first inning. That second inning was able to shut the Bison out, and in here,
that will be into shallow right field, and it will be a single for Laskowski. Now Cassidy Morrow heads to the plate for the Bison. Here's the pitch. Showing bunt. And the runners will stay put here for the Bison.
you see Shelby Warden on that second base, looking for her 4th stolen base of the year. She's 3 for 3 on stolen base attempts this year.
Showing bunt, won't happen. So again, everybody will stay put. Morrow getting some words of encouragement from the Bison faithful that have made the trip to Arkadelphia from Shawnee. 1-2's the count now.
And speaking of what's going on in Shawnee, last night the Tiger baseball team picked up 2 wins in the small town of Shawnee, Oklahoma, hoping to get that 3rd one today.
Well, regardless, they have secured the the series victory over the Bison. That's going to be out number 1, looking for out number 2. Won't get it. She's still going. Runners advancing to 2nd and 3rd, but not before Ouachita does record 1 out in the inning. Lester just could not secure that one at first. I think it would have been a little bit late anyway.
Good awareness by King, though, to get her foot on the 3rd base bag and get the force out, and then just barely unable to get it over to Lester.
And we have someone going to come in and run. That is going to be Asia Shirey. Shirey, a junior from Shawnee, Oklahoma. Actually, the only player on this roster from Shawnee, Oklahoma. She's a transfer from Grayson College, and she'll be coming in to run. At 2nd. Sydney Adler at the plate for the Bison.
Sydney Adler, she is a product. She's the sister of Emily Adler, who hit earlier in the lineup.
Yep, both are starting today for Oklahoma Baptist. Sydney starting in right field and Emily at short. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be strike number 1. 2-1 is the count. Runners on 2nd and 3rd for Oklahoma Baptist. What is the battle of the OBUs? Oklahoma Baptist taking the trip from Shawnee and coming to Ouachita to face the Tigers, and that's going to be out number 2, corralled by Lester. And makes the out at first.
And Lester, having a bit of a rough day in the infield, is able to get that play there just to give herself a little bit more confidence in that infield, and hopefully for her to put herself back on track there. And now with Addie Reese up, a product of Murray State College, not Murray State University. Murray State College is actually a 2-year institution in Oklahoma, we learned yesterday. Not in Murray, Kentucky, like we thought.
That will not be fair. King close to making the grab.
Just blasted out to the left, though, and it would have been incredibly impressive if the 3rd baseman could corral that there.
So Addie Reese at the plate for the Bison as we are back again to the top of the order. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be strike number 1. So 1-2 is the count. Or excuse me, that's going to be strike number 2. So 1-2 is the count with 2 outs.
And Batchelor here hoping to record that final strike and be able to get her team out of this inning with no runs allowed.
Here's the pitch, and that will be outside. That's going to be ball 2. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be popped straight up. Can Province get up under it? It looks like she will, and that's going to be the final out of the inning. So Ouachita not allowing any runs there, but the score is still 7-1 in favor of the Bison. You're watching Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Wichita.
Achita.
Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Washita.
Washita. Washita.
How would you pronounce it?
Washita.
Washita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Washita, people. It's Washita.
Washita.
Well, the score is 7-1 here at PT Langston Field, still in favor of Oklahoma Baptist as we are jamming out some Jolene by, oh goodness, I hope it's by Dolly Parton. Am I right? All right, that's good deal. I'm not as cultured as I would like to be, but Isaac, we have a score update from Washita baseball out in Shawnee, Oklahoma.
Right, while the Tigers face the Bison here in Arkadelphia in softball, the baseball team is up 5-2 in Shawnee at the bottom of the second inning, hoping to record a sweep in the 3-game series after going 2-0 last night in a doubleheader. And it's looking good so far for them, but last night we saw a slugfest in the first game of that series as the Tigers barely came out of the first one, 16-15, Chris. So hoping that the Tigers can get that third win of the series here.
And King, and she's going to be out right away as we start the bottom of the third. But Lauren Lester batting second for Washita, a product of North Little Rock. I know I say high school a lot, but North Little Rock Middle School. How about that? Previously known as Lakewood Middle School up until we're both in the class of 2020 for high school. So that would have been our 8th grade year when it was no longer Lakewood Middle School, and she won't get there in time. That's going to be out number 2.
Goes off the glove of the pitcher placed there, but great awareness by Addie Reese, the second baseman, to corral that and send it over to first for the assist there.
Aaron Williams at the plate for Washita.
The Tigers are hoping that Williams can channel her performance from Thursday against Henderson, where she hit a solo home run and get the only score of the game for the Tigers in that 3-1 loss.
And she was very close to a second one before it was snagged away. But Williams has had a fantastic season this year. She swung at that one, really wanted it. It was outside, so 1-1 is the count. But Williams leads the team in a bunch of different categories. Leads the team in hits with 44, triples with 3, and home runs with 7. That will be strike number 2.
And you can kind of see Williams reaching at these because I'm sure she knows what's been happening with the score, and she just wants to give her team some momentum here.
Here's the pitch. Oh, that's going to be outside. She held on that time. 2-2 is the count.
And now I obligatorily have to mention that Kendall Givens is in the building, or in the stands, star running back for the OBU Tigers, All-American this year, and then also a valued member of OSDN at times. But at time when he comes on as a color analyst for us in basketball. I was not talking about how
I was not going to take any Kendall Givens disrespect on this broadcast.
And I would never give any Kendall Givens disrespect. Givens
all right. Well, here's the pitch. That's going to be outside again. So full count with 2 outs. Nobody on base for Washita.
And as our baseball and just all around usual other play-by-play analyst Chase Hartzell would say, something's got to give here. 3-2 count here.
Here's the pitch. And that will be popped, and that's going to go well behind the Bison bullpen. Going to take second, get a new ball.
And that was the same ball that was just popped out to the right. Our fan was able to get it back into the field and back into play.
Here's the pitch. And that's going to be popped straight up, and that will be out number 3 of the inning for Oklahoma Baptist. So again, they escape the inning without allowing a single run. Ouachita heading back out into the field. You're watching Tiger Softball here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
And welcome back to Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law. So a lot of Ouachita students are in the Rogers Department of Communications, and of course we are both in the Rogers Department of Communications, and so are a lot of other people that are helping out with the broadcast here today, but a lot of other members of the Rogers Department of Communications, I can say it again if you haven't heard me say it 3 times, but they just landed in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, they're not going to be gambling there, but what they will be doing is they will be attending some media conferences and going to be learning a lot of stuff about just media in general, sports or news or otherwise. So it'll be a great conference for them to attend.
And along with a couple members of our usual OSDN crew, the voice of the Ouachita Tiger baseball, Chase Hartzell, we just found out, he was the one who showed us that they had just landed with an Instagram story. But Hartzell has been very productive this year at the ACMAs as well, cleaning up along with Chris.
Well, hey, now he got Reporter of the Year, which he had said that he was second place last year in Reporter of the Year, and he told everybody he was going to get first place, and that's exactly what he did.
And Chase, just one half of the star duo with my play-by-play analyst here, Chris, in many basketball games this year and other sports. Chris and Chase are both seniors in the Rogers Department of Communications, and they have been some of the most valued members of this OSDN staff with their commentary in just about every sport.
Well, thank you, Isaac. Well said. Well, now, Emily Adler at the plate for the Bison. As we've mentioned a number of times, Emily and her sister Sydney are both on the Bison roster, both starters.
Both seniors as well.
Actually, both fifth-year seniors, as they're obviously both from Rose Hill, Kansas. Both started out at Butler Community College before coming here to Oklahoma Baptist. And I was looking, they are both 5'6", and I expected them to look exactly alike. They do not. So they're not identical twins.
But Chris, I would hope and assume that they are at least some kind of twins.
And can't get that one. Coming around to second, and Adler will be safe.
I will say on that play, while they did allow the double, great throw by Province to get it into the infield and just keep the Bison from claiming third on what was a great hit into the outfield by Adler.
Just briefly having a conversation as Allie Ryan and her third base coach.
Allie Ryan, quick to mention here, has had a huge season up at the plate. She's had 15 home runs on the year, which, Chris, is just 2 away from tying the Oklahoma Baptist season record for home runs. And with the Bison still having plenty of games on the schedule, it's not crazy to think that she might touch or even exceed that number.
That one's going to be popped in front of the Tiger dugout. But Ryan, the sophomore from Frisco, Texas, is a sophomore, and she could potentially break the home run single season record for Oklahoma Baptist. That's just kind of hard to fathom. And that's a swing and a miss.
And sitting at the top of the GAC in home runs as well, she has 10. The second place second place in the GAC in home runs has 11.
Yeah.
So she is far and away the home run leader in this conference and has shown that that bat can hit the ball very deep and past the outfield wall.
Also has 41 RBIs on the season, which is number 2 in the conference.
And I'm sure with a hitter like that, Cody Batchelor is being very wary to keep Ryan from getting anything that she likes.
1-2 is the count with 1 out. And she makes contact, but doesn't go anywhere. Here's the pitch. Makes contact right to Adams and can't come away with a double play. Here goes Adler heading to third, and she will stay put there. So it was a nice grab by Adams trying to make the second play, or the double play at second. Doesn't happen. It's out of reach of Gillis, and that allows Adler to advance to third for Oklahoma Baptist. But there are 2 outs on the board with Morgan Max at the plate for the Bison. Here's the pitch. That's going to be popped straight up, and watch out, watch out. Oh!
Chris,
wow.
that,
okay. All right.
That little girl, there's a little girl standing right here and just inches away from being hit. Chris, I know you and I were both just gasping at that. Oh my goodness.
Well, she has no idea what happened, but everybody else in the stands held our... Yeah, even Batchelor reacted. I think everybody for that time was, man, that was close. That would not have been a good day here at Langston Field for anybody. But luckily she is okay. Mom's checking on her. Now that will be popped into the center field gap. What a grab! Caitlin Province with the all-out effort to come away with out number 3 of the inning. Washita heading to the plate. Let's see if they can add to their score. You're watching Tiger Softball on the Washita Sports Digital Network, presented by Guess Who? Taylor King Law.
I'm Sandra, this is Jorge, and we were adopted in 2019. I remember when they first came to us, Michael was already a teenager. The whole cliche of they're so lucky to have you guys, and it's the other way around. They have changed our family for the better. They chose to love us. They didn't have to. They chose us. Family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
And welcome back to the Washita Sports Digital Network, brought to you by Taylor King Law. I'm Isaac Bourne, the color analyst, brought to you by, or along with Chris, the play-by-play analyst. Chris is eating a Reese's Cup, benefits of Ace Collins. But while I have you here, Ace wanted me to mention that the Tiger baseball score now has shortened to 5-4 after Oklahoma Baptist was able to get a couple more runs on the board. 5-3, excuse me, as Ace indicates. But still, the Tigers hoping to pick up a third win in that series, as that one is fouled off to the back.
Well, I had my Reese's Cup. Thank you very much. I'm a little bit superstitious, so the last time I had a Reese's Cup, Ouachita was able to record that one run in the second, so I had my second one, so let's see if that will work. If it doesn't, then oh well, but if it does, I'm going to have another one.
But what a person to record that run, or at least get on base here. Remington Adams is batting in the 4-hole. Adams leads the Tigers this season in RBIs with 24. So she can put her bat on the ball just as well as anyone on this Ouachita team.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Adams, and that's going to be out number one of the bottom of the fourth.
Up to bat here, though, is Caitlin Province. Province made that diving catch out from center field to end the last half inning. And it looks like
behind us, and you may not be able to see, but behind us there is a tent that is being set up, and it is somebody's 21st birthday today. I believe it's somebody of the Ouachita softball team. I don't really know birthdays, so I'm not sure who it would be. And that's going to be a single for Province. She made that great play out in the outfield earlier, and then makes a great play batting now for Ouachita.
We'll make sure to get you an update on whose 21st birthday it is, just so that we can wish them a happy birthday from the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. But for the moment, we've got a new batter up. That looks to be Marley Huddleston.
0-1 is the count. Here's the pitch. And I'll be down the middle for strike number 2. Zero-2 is the count with one out, and here's the pitch, and that's going to be outside. That's going to be ball number 1. Here's the pitch. That's going to be popped towards the Bison dugout.
And just nearly getting the second out of the inning, Huddleston is able to escape as the first baseman, Shelby Warden, is just unable to get it right in front of her own dugout.
Here's the pitch. She makes contact, so she'll stay alive here.
And great battle here between Huddleston and Place. Huddleston staying alive even with those 2 strikes on the board. In a battle between pitcher and batter, Huddleston is the designated player for the Tigers today, so she's hoping to get on base for the first time today.
Here's the pitch. That's going to be outside again. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. With 1 out is the count now.
Place trying to use her little bit of wiggle room in the count to try to get Huddleston to swing on an outside ball there, but Huddleston able to stay in there.
That will be low again. So a full count just like that for Marley Huddleston. Huddleston, the sophomore from B Branch, Arkansas. A transfer from the University of Arkansas Rich Mountain, following her sister Maggie Huddleston. That's going to be popped straight up. Will it be? Yes, it will be the second out of the inning. This time by Sammy Green out in center field. So Riley Gillis heads to the plate for the Tigers.
Gillis showing bunt here already to start off the count.
Swing and a miss by Gillis. That will be straight up, and it will be the third out of the inning, courtesy of Abby Laskowski coming over from the plate. Well, you are watching Tiger Softball here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
And welcome back to Tiger Softball here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law. 7-1 is still your score as we enter the top of the 5th inning here at P.T. Langston Field. It is still a beautiful day here in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. A nice breeze in an otherwise hot day. Well, Isaac, I know you went searching to see whose birthday it is. Did you find out?
And yes, Chris, it is number 18, Mackenzie Amaya's birthday, the junior out of Dallas, Texas. So from everyone here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, happy birthday, Mackenzie.
Yep, she's one of the Ouachita's better base runners this year. And of course, it is her 21st birthday. With her family coming out to show some love. I'm sure coming all the way from Dallas. Amaya has not made an appearance today, nor has made an appearance in the series, but she is likely to probably play, if not later in this game. She will probably play in game number 3 at 2 o'clock.
Make sure to stay tuned for that game as well, as Chris has to go, but I will be on the mic for you guys as the play-by-play analyst for that one.
Yep, so it'll be all Isaac, born for that second, or well, I guess the third game. Swing and a miss by Shelby Warden.
Warden was actually a last-second addition to this lineup, actually taking the place
of Kennedy Clark, that's right.
Yes.
It initially, our first starting lineup that we saw today, as that one goes straight to King at third and will be the first out of the inning, but it was Kennedy Clark that was going to be starting at first for Oklahoma Baptist, and then they did make a last-second change, moving Shelby Warden to first. And we have still not seen Clark today. She started last night. Probably won't see her at all for this game. That ball will be right in front of the Tiger dugout. Here's the pitch. Inside, that's going to be ball 1.
Laskowski was the one who made that final put out to finish off that last half inning, and now she's up at the plate.
That's going to be strike number 2 for Cody Batchelor.
Batchelor, since being put in halfway through that first inning, has put together a pretty good performance, has yet to allow a run in her time up in the circle. Oh, 2 runs. She has only allowed 2 runs in her time up in the circle, excuse me.
But she's only allowed 4 hits, considering she came in at a very inconvenient time. She has recorded 1 strikeout, only walked 2 batters in 3.2 innings. Here's the pitch. Gets past Batchelor, gets past Adams, and out towards center field. And, almost another blunder by Washita fielding there as it was up over Gillis's head.
And Caitlin Province with a big cannon of an arm out in center field. Looked like she was just trying to get it over to Lester at first as we see a pinch runner come in.
Yep, that looks like, if I'm seeing the number right, that will be number 14, Haley Stanford, the sophomore from Wilburton, Oklahoma. She appeared last night as a pinch runner for Oklahoma Baptist.
And then also, Chris, it looks to me like it's going to be a pinch hitter as well.
Yeah, it's going to be Asia Shirey, who's already appeared today as a pinch runner. And now she is hitting for the first time today.
And she tried to check her swing there, but the umpire is going to call it as a strike.
Well, this is Shirey's 78th at-bat on the year. She's recorded 15 hits, 7 runs, 10 RBIs. And she's been walked 7 times. But she is just under hitting 200 on the season for Oklahoma Baptist. Well, the wind is definitely starting to pick up here at Langston Field, and that one's going to go right to Lester at first, and that's going to be out number 2 of the inning, and probably a smart decision trying not to go for the double play. It really has not paid off for Washita much today as Stanford gets a new helmet.
And if you look at the wind here, it's blowing right out towards right field here. Well, it's actually blowing in a lot of different directions, but we know it is blowing towards the outfield in some general direction, which will be very interesting to see if the batters of this game can take advantage of this wind and possibly get another one over the wall. And Chris, just as I said it was blowing out to the right, it's blowing to the left now. So it's been a very erratic breeze, but nonetheless, it's blowing.
Feels good, though, I will say that. Well, Sydney Adler's at the plate for the Bison. That gets past Gillis at second. Shirey going home, and she will get there. So Oklahoma Baptist records its 8th run of the afternoon, leading 8-1 here in the top of the 5th inning at Pete Langston Field.
And the Bison tacking on yet another insurance run there to give them a 7-score lead. As the ball just gets past Gillis there, and the Bison are able to plate another runner.
So Adler records the RBI single as Addie Reese is at the plate for the Bison. She's had a heck of a day already. Has recorded a run, a hit, 2 RBIs. Has been walked.
An interesting fact about Reese, while there is 2 outs, we won't see one of those today.
And that's a great catch by Province. That will be the 3rd out of the inning. So we're going to be heading into the bottom of the 5th. Let's see if Washita can make some noise with their bats. You're watching Tiger Softball here on the Washita Sports Digital Network.
Whether you realize it or not, you see the work of Bats and Signs all around Arkadelphia. When you see the Badger equipment trailer on the way to a Badger game, Bats and Signs did that. When you're watching the Badgers, Tigers, or Reddies and see the signage that just really makes their facilities pop, Bats and Signs did that too. You see the signage in downtown Arkadelphia, on the campuses of Washita and Henderson, or the sign in your neighbor's yard supporting a candidate or their favorite Badger? Yep, Bats and Sign did that too. Longtime residents and supporters of all things Arkadelphia called Mark, Jared, Chris, or Ryan at Bats and Signs today to see what they can do for you.
8-1 is your score as we enter the bottom of the fifth here at PC Langston Field on the campus of Ouachita Baptist University. Well, on the campus of Oklahoma Baptist University, Ouachita baseball is in a close one against the Bison of Oklahoma Baptist there in Shawnee, Oklahoma, where Ouachita leads 5-4 in the bottom of the third. We will keep you updated, or rather Ace Collins will keep you updated, and we're just ones telling you about it all game long.
And last night in Shawnee, the baseball team was able to come out with 2 wins, so they have the series win, like we've talked about already, but hoping to get a sweep and put themselves further towards the top of the GAC in that regard.
And Merritt right away is going to be out at first. So Carly Burrow back to the plate for Ouachita. She's 0 of 1 so far today, just her second at-bat. That will be ball 1. I didn't even realize for Oklahoma Baptist there's a new catcher. That's Haley Stanford. She previously came in to pinch run for Oklahoma Baptist, and now she's replacing the freshman Abby Laskowski at catcher. It is still Maggie Place pitching for Oklahoma Baptist. She's had a very solid game so far. Has allowed just 1 run, 2 hits, walked only 1 batter, has recorded 3 strikeouts, also 4 flyouts and 4 groundouts as well.
And Chris, if the game were to end right here, Maggie Place would be in line for her 13th win on the season.
Very close to allowing hit number 4 on the day, but that will be an out by Warden at first. She almost couldn't grab it up, but finally gets up under it, recovers, and makes the out at first. And now Bailey King is at the plate for Ouachita as we are back to the top of the order for the Tigers. That will be inside for ball 1. Here's the pitch. That's going to be strike number 1.
Locks her up on the inside. King could not do anything with that pitch. Beautiful, beautiful placement by Place there, if you don't mind the pun there.
I don't mind it. Strike number 2 on the count, so 1-2 with 2 outs. Nobody on base for Ouachita. Here's the pitch. And that will be outside, trying to frame it up the best she could, but not when it's about a foot off the plate. So 2-2 is the count with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. She makes contact, and will she get there in time? That will be the 3rd out of the inning. Great play there by Addie Reese, coming all the way over from second, coming up with the assist to Shelby Warden at first. So that will do it for the 5th inning, and we are heading into the top of the 6th here at Langston Field. Don't go anywhere. We have more Tiger softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Baseball for me just kind of was the glue that kept my family together. I feel like I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
And welcome back to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law, the best TV sports outlet in the great state of Arkansas. according to the ACMA. And I think that's pretty good word to be able to say, hey, this is the best media outlet in the state, and it is always great to be a part of it.
And Chris, that's no thanks to our seniors and our leaders like you and Chase Hartzell, but also along with that, our other student director who is not here today but is in Vegas, Chloe Villman, I believe that's how you say it. Chloe's on a trip in Vegas with the rest of the Rogers Department of Communications.
Man, don't let her hear what you just said.
Let's hope that Chloe's not listening to this right now because I just butchered her last name.
That will be outside. That's going to be ball 2. And of course, the students that are in Las Vegas, Nevada are not gambling. Let me make that very clear. There's nobody that's going to be gambling there in Vegas with Ouachita. They are at a media conference.
And Chris, I can almost expect a text from our head director, Chris Babb, at some point correcting me on her last name.
Well, speaking of our director, Chris Babb, we can't thank him enough for everything that he has done for all the students here with the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, allowing us to be able to, first of all, broadcast these games, but for all of us that have gone on the incredible trips in association with OSDN, and you and I were both a part of the Memphis trip to the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament, which the South Regional in Memphis, Tennessee, at the FedEx Forum, and we had a great time, and of course we got to see some great games and be around some, the teams, and we would not have had those opportunities. Oh, and you were with me as well as Chase for last year in the Final Four in Houston, Texas, and would not have these opportunities if it was not for Chris Babb. I think he knows at least 12 people in every state in the country, so he's able to get these connections right away, and just incredible opportunities, and always so thankful for being a part of OSDN.
At least 12, an odd number, but that's for sure.
I mean, that's pretty accurate. I think he knows.
At least 12 people in every state.
Yeah.
But yes, Chris and I have charted many miles together just across the nation due to the help of Chris Babb and other people in the Rogers Department of Communications. Like we said, we were in Memphis just recently, and last year in Houston. And so it's been a great ride these past few years, and it's only going to get better as time goes on.
Well, going back to Chris Babb knowing just about everybody in the world, you just pull up a map, you just pick out a random spot in the state or wherever, and it's like, oh yeah, I know a guy. I went to school with a guy. And he'll, of course, call him up and have a 10-minute conversation. All of a sudden, just incredible the type of connections that Chris Babb has been able to make. And, of course, we have been grateful for each of the ones that he's been able to share with us, as that will be strike number 1 on the count for Ouachita.
Well, thanks to Chris, he has made the sports media program here at the Rogers Department of Communications one of the highlights of the state of Arkansas, in one of the highlights of the state, and one of the highlights of the nation, in my own personal opinion. And if you or anyone that you know is looking for a place to call home, this little town of Arkadelphia, Arkansas has one of the greatest sports media departments that you can find.
Well, I had said it during our last basketball broadcast, and I still believe it. We have the best broadcasting crew in the country, and a great play by Remington Adams to Lauren Lester, making the second out of the inning. But we have a small crew here today, and it is still our broadcast can rival those of professionals, which has been made clear to us. We've gotten a lot of compliments. But
well, Chris, yourself up for the Jim Nantz Award, which is one of the most prestigious awards in college broadcasting.
I wouldn't say I'm up for it. I made it a submission, as well as hundreds of other amateur sportscasters across the country, but I'm hopeful.
And then also Chase Hartzell, winning an Emmy for his sports broadcasting for many of the sports around here. So some of the top talent in the nation when it comes to college broadcasting is nestled right here in the town of Arkadelphia, Arkansas.
You heard it right. But anyway, back to some softball action. So 0-2 is the count with 2 outs as Ouachita trails by 7 to the visiting Bisons. Will Province, nobody will get up under it, so they will send another runner home as Morgan Max is safe at first after the RBI single.
Just a bit of an awkward spot for the ball to go, and then Remington Adams and Kate Province, just a bit of miscommunication there on who was going to get it, and allows Max to plate yet another runner and increasing the score to 9-1 in this game.
Well, Max is likely going to come out here for a pinch runner. Let's see who it will be. I cannot see her jersey number. Well, that looks like, yes, that will be number 22, Zoe Johnson, making her first appearance in this conference series, the junior from Mansfield, Texas, and a graduate of Mansfield High School. The Shelby Warden at the plate for Oklahoma Baptist. Warden has had a fantastic day so far. Recorded a home run, 4 RBIs, and 2 hits. And that gets past King at third, and that will be a single by Warden.
King just unable to get her glove on the ball there and just end this inning here, but now with a runner in scoring position on second, we have number 14, Haley Stanford, stepping up to bat here.
She initially came in to pinch hit and is also subbed in as the starting catcher. Actually, she originally came in to pinch run, then she has come in to pinch hit, as well as replacing Laskowski at the catcher position for the Bison.
And Stanford has played a utility role for this team this season, so no surprise, she's been all over the field today. Not just in at catcher, but like you said, a pinch runner and a pinch hitter.
Well, this is her first at-bat on the afternoon, but she's recorded 5 hits, 8 runs, 3 RBIs, and 1 home run, and has been walked once, and her average is just a hair under 200 on the season. And that pitch is outside. That will be ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count with 2 outs. Ouachita trails by 8 here in the top of the 6th.
And Batchelor here looking for strikeout number 2 in the game today. She's just had 1 so far.
Here's the pitch. That will be outside, so a full count for Batchelor. The sophomore versus the sophomore.
Well, Chris, something's got to give here with a full count as she steps up to the plate.
And a swing and a miss. Out number 3, strike number 3 of the inning. Courtesy of Cody Batchelor. Well, do not go anywhere. We have more Tiger softball action here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
I'm Rex Horn, the Interim Executive Director of the Arkansas Baptist State Convention, and today I'm joined by my friend Dylan, who's an attorney with the Arkansas Baptist Foundation, with an important word for you.
The foundation is here to help you support your Ouachita Tigers. If you'd like to create an estate plan that supports Ouachita and its mission, or learn about other giving opportunities, please contact us using the information below.
And welcome back to Tiger Softball on the Washita Sports Digital Network. Washita trails 9-1 against the visiting Oklahoma Baptist Bison. Oh, there is a new pitcher. Yeah, you were trying to give me a hint. But there's a new pitcher for Oklahoma Baptist. It will be number 21, J.C. Schaefer, the sophomore from Cyril, Oklahoma, an alum of Cyril High School.
And while the Bison have had a pretty veteran lineup today with just two underclassmen in their starting lineup, 3 including Place, the pitchers have been fairly young, with Place being a freshman for the Bison, and now with Schaefer stepping up as a sophomore. The Bison, with an older lineup, have very young players stepping up in the circle for this team and stepping up at the right time and in the right way.
Well, Place has had a solid game, just allowing 1 run, 2 hits, 1 walk, striking out 3 batters, forcing 7 groundouts and 4 flyouts, and just a hair under 50 pitches with 49. And now Schaefer's making her first appearance in the season series.
And the Bison, with a win here, if they can close this one out, they will claim their 17th straight conference series in a row, which makes it which right now is still their longest streak in program history, as they sit at the top of the GAC right now. Last night picking up their 30th win of the season in that first game of the series.
Lester at the plate, now 2 of 2 on the board. But looking at what Schaefer has done so far this year, this is only her 7th appearance on the season, only her 14th appearance in 2 years with Oklahoma Baptist. So far on the year, she's recorded a 4.29 ERA. She's recorded 2 wins, 1 loss. Has closed 2 games. Has allowed 19 hits, 11 runs, walked 6 batters, but has struck out 20. So Lester, ball 4 heading to first for Washita. Aaron Williams at the plate for Washita, and it looks like that's Mackenzie Amaya making her first appearance today. And if you didn't catch it earlier in the game, we mentioned it is her not 18th, she's number 18, but her 21st birthday today, the junior from Dallas, Texas, and the alum of Woodrow Wilson High School.
And now Aaron Williams stepping up to the plate, hoping to get Maya a birthday, or get Amaya a birthday run here.
Williams is 1 of 2 so far today. That will be high. That's going to be ball 2. Williams, a product of the duck and rice capital of the world, Stuttgart, Arkansas. Here's a pitch. High again. That will be ball 3.
Williams, like you said, product of Stuttgart, Arkansas, former Stuttgart Rice Bird, I believe.
Yes, you are right.
While I am from Kentucky, I'm slowly learning my Arkansas high schools.
That will be strike number 1, so 3-1 is the count. Swing and a miss by Williams. Strike number 2, and just like that, we are sitting with a full count. No outs on the board, but Amaya at first for Washita. Here's the pitch. Outside, that's going to be ball 4. So Williams will occupy first, and Amaya will occupy second for Ouachita as Remington Adams heads to the plate. And Schaefer's going to have a mound visit. I think just going over maybe some plays or just words of encouragement.
Well, Schaefer has walked her first 2 batters of her performance today, so I'm sure that her coach is just trying to keep her calm here and make things and make sure that she can close this game out. While they do have a 9-1 lead, anything can happen in the game of softball, and with 2 runners on the plate or on the bases right now, and with the lineup turning over, well, excuse me, no, with Remington Adams stepping up though, with leading the Tigers in RBIs this season, I'm sure that the Bison want to keep the Tigers off the board here.
Yeah, 24 RBIs on the year for Adams, along with 33 hits. She's 0 of 2 today. And that goes to the shortstop, and that will just be 1 out on the board. So Williams will head back to the dugout, but not before having Amaya advance to third and Adams getting to first for Ouachita, with Caitlin Province stepping up to the plate.
Province actually scored the only run of the game for the Tigers earlier today as she crossed home plate. And she's hoping that she can provide some runs for other batters or for other runners today and possibly get herself an RBI or 2.
Stanford did an excellent job framing that one. That will be strike number 1. Yeah, Province had the lone run recorded by the Tigers in the 2nd inning. And heading to home, and she's safe! Mackenzie Amaya with a birthday run. And Remington Adams, she advances to second for Ouachita as Province is still at the plate. But happy birthday, Mackenzie Amaya, in front of her family, who's just to the left and back of us.
And you see the base running strategy by the Tigers there works to perfection. Again, you saw the same thing happen as Province, who's up to bat now, scored that last run where the steal from first to second gets the ball back out to the second baseman, and then the runner on third gets across the home plate. So the first time Province was able to steal home, and there Amaya steals home.
Full count here with 1 out. Adams on second for the Tigers. Here's the pitch. That will be high. That's going to be, well, it should be ball 4. At least it's what the board says. Well, now I'm a little confused. Maybe that was just ball 2 and there was a misinput. She'll make contact. I'm hearing somebody saying it should be ball 4. I'm the home plate umpire just put up 3 fingers for 3 balls and 2 strikes, so we'll see what happens here. That's going to be outside. Oh, okay, well, from my angle, sure looked like it was outside, but that's going to be strike 3 as Marley Huddleston heading to the plate for Ouachita.
And even though that was a strikeout, that at-bat did produce a run, as you saw Amaya crossing home plate on the steal there. So if I'm Province heading back to the dugout, I'm not fully sinking my head, as her presence at the plate was enough to create enough confusion for Amaya to cross.
Huddleston swings and misses. She's 0 of 2 on the day. The product of B Branch, Arkansas, and Southside High School. And that's going to be hit right to Warden for the 3rd out of the inning. So Ouachita does add 1 run as we are now entering the top of the 7th. Do not go anywhere. We have more Tiger Softball here on the Washita Sports Digital Network after the break.
At Berry & Turnage, we specialize in bringing the law to your corner. We are dedicated to understanding what results you want and to helping you understand what actions we can take on your behalf. With over 30 years of experience and a proven track record of success, Berry & Turnage is here to lead you down a path to the results you need. We will work with you every step of the way to make sure that you understand the choices you are making and feel empowered to make them. Berry & Turnage. Serious injuries require serious attorneys.
"9-2 is your score here at P.T. Langston Field on the campus of Washita Baptist University as we are entering the final inning of play, and Oklahoma Baptist has had control of this ball game really since the first inning, when they recorded 7 runs. Now they went 3 innings without recording a run, but they did record runs in the 5th and 6th inning. Washita was able to record a run in the 6th, which prevented the run rule. So Washita is still alive, and Cody Batchelor has done a solid job pitching for the Tigers. Well, maybe I jinxed her a little bit there. She hits Asia Shirey in her first at-bat of the inning. And now Samantha Campos, who is coming in to pinch hit.
Campos last night started at catcher for the Bison and is now making her first appearance today.
It looks like Oklahoma Baptist is bringing in a lot of new batters, as on deck for the Bison is the sophomore Megan Roberts.
And a run in this inning for the Bison would mean that the Tigers won't get a chance to repeat. I believe that's how it will be. But with the 7th in the 7th inning, it is an 8-run mercy rule.
"1-1 is the count. Here's the pitch.
Seeing two Harding University vans pass behind the field, and that makes me wonder, Chris, what business Harding University has here on the campus of Washita Baptist University. Scouting, that probably, you're right, scouting.
I have no idea, but could be something totally unrelated to athletics, but now the count is 2-2.
Harding, a vicious rival of in football of Washita, as this past season in football, Harding came out on top, and their football team won the Division II National Championship.
Yep, the first GAC team to do that ever, and they were honored in Memphis at the NCAA tournament, which we had a few members of Washita's football team, so they decided to not watch the ceremony. But of course, Washita and Harding, really not just in football, but in all sports, are big-time rivals.
Right down the road, just about 2 hours down the road in Searcy, Arkansas, is where Harding is located. So not too far of a distance between the two, considering the GAC has teams that spread across the states of Oklahoma and Arkansas.
Well, they're not as close as probably about as big of a rival in Henderson State, who I'm looking at their campus right now. That's just how close they are. Of course, won't talk too much about it because next time we have Battle of the Ravine, that's pretty much all we talk about, is how close the two universities are.
But the campus of Henderson State University just as active as the campus of Washita today, with, like you said, the red and white game going on at their football field, and them playing a softball game over there, I believe. Cannot quite see.
Nope, of course, it is springtime, so the trees are starting to fill back up. And Megan Roberts is now going to be batting for the Bison. And Coach Jackson's going to have a conversation with his pitcher and his infield. I'm not sure if we're seeing, well, we might be seeing a new pitcher. It looks like, yeah, it looks like I think Maggie Huddleston's going to come in. She grabbed the face mask. Yep, and that's what will happen. So Huddleston closed last night's game, and of course she has to, well, actually, I'm not sure. No, Batchelor's going to stay in the ball game. So Huddleston thought she was coming in, but she's going back to the dugout.
Well, Chris, at the moment, Hannah Hunter is still in line for the loss, as she was the one who allowed the 5 runs in that first inning. But still, Batchelor has allowed a couple runs as well, but she will not take the loss here unless Ouachita can get out of this inning and score a couple more runs.
There is still another half inning for Ouachita to play in, so they can turn the tide. We know they can, as that will be strike number 1 with Megan Roberts out of Ringling, Oklahoma, batting for the Bison. Pop straight up, and no, what a grab by Riley Gillis. It was going to be Gillis or Batchelor, and Batchelor at the very last second was able to get out of the way for Gillis to make the out. That's going to be out number 1 of the inning.
Spectacular sliding catch by the sophomore Gillis there. Just able to get through the confusion there on who was going to catch it, and Gillis just barely gets under it in time.
So Sammy Green at the plate for Oklahoma Baptist. It was Addie Reese and I think Sydney Adler that were taken out of the lineup in favor of Samantha Campos and Megan Roberts. That will be high.
And a fact about Sammy Green, the junior out of Clovis, California. Green actually leads the GAC in total plate appearances, and she's adding to that count yet again here.
Over Batchelor's head, past Gillis. They're going to send one more runner home, and they extend this lead 10-2. We're going to have a brief time, and Maggie Huddleston now comes in for Ouachita. Cody Batchelor will come out for the game. But Batchelor, considering what the situation that she was put in, she's still had a solid game. But Maggie Huddleston, who closed last night for Ouachita, will be closing today for the Tigers. While Huddleston warms up, we will take a very quick break. Don't go anywhere. We have more Tiger softball action here after the break.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. SAC gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
Well, if you are just now joining us, we have Ouachita's third pitcher of the day, that being Maggie Huddleston, going to be closing the game for Ouachita. Huddleston is a senior from B Branch, Arkansas, and a transfer from Central Baptist College in Conway, Arkansas.
And Chris, as she steps up in the circle, the wind hitting us like a freight train here as we struggle and just scramble to keep our papers down here. The wind blowing out to our left now, but As we've shown, that wind is just going to go any way it wants today, and you can't really tell where it's going to go.
Emily Adler at the plate for Oklahoma Baptist. And Huddleston's first pitch is a strike. So still runners on first and second, or excuse me, first and third for Oklahoma Baptist. It was Aaron Bonehill who was just brought in to pinch run and now will advance to second on the walk. But Bonehill, a junior out of Louisville, Texas. And now Allie Ryan at the plate for Oklahoma Baptist. So it's Samantha Campos at third, Bonehill at second, and Adler, Emily Adler that is, at first. A swing and a miss by Ryan.
Ryan looks to me like, after that pitch, looking like she wants home run number 16 on the season. She has had herself a dominant year at the plate.
That goes right to Gillis, and Williams making the out at home. That will be the second out of the game. A smart move by Gillis. Of course, the bases were loaded, and she knew somebody had to go home, so she decided to make the out at home. And now batting is Zoe Johnson, the junior from Mansfield, Texas. Here's the pitch. And that will be fouled up over the Bison dugout. So bases loaded, and the count is 0-1 with 2 outs. A little tad high for ball 2, or excuse me, ball 1. She makes contact, but it will still be strike number 2.
And now, a strong gust to our right, Chris. Just an unpredictable day for the wind.
Yeah, the wind is definitely, it's bothered us more than it has any of the softball players. Of course, we have papers all over our broadcast table.
All we can thank is that one of our papers has not ended up in any trees, because we've experienced that before.
That is right. Was that the Union Series?
Yes, that was the Union Series, where we had our lineup card, which is probably the most important paper that we have on our table. Our lineup paper, my lineup paper specifically, was just blown into the tree over there, and it was stuck there for a good bit amount of time. We had to get a new one, actually, because it just was gone.
Well, it eventually came back down, but oh, and what a grab by Huddleston, making the third out of the inning. So Ouachita has a long way to climb if they want to come away with the win or force this game into extra innings. Let's see if they do. You're watching Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
And welcome back to the final inning of Tiger Softball here at Beatsy Langston Field. Well, I had mentioned before the previous break that Ouachita had brought in their third pitcher of the game, that being Maggie Huddleston, and now Oklahoma Baptist doing the same, bringing in a new pitcher, that being Olivia Cummings, the senior from Pryor, Oklahoma, and a transfer from Neosho County Community College. Obviously, Schaefer, who came in as the second pitcher, taking out, and bringing in a bit more experience with Cummings.
Just looks to me, Chris, like the Bison are taking a little bit of a victory lap here, but the Tigers are surely going to try to stop that where it is and put some runs up on the board, even though they're in an 8-run hole right now.
Well, this is only the second appearance on the year that Cummings has had for Oklahoma Baptist. She gets it started with 1 strike. She's played in 2 conference games, once against East Central and once against Southwestern Oklahoma. And she's only appeared in now 6 games in 2 seasons here at Oklahoma Baptist. Recorded 1 win last year. But looking at her season this season, actually has a 0 ERA, but she's really not pitched very much. This is, again, only her 3rd appearance on the season. Has only pitched in 2.2 innings. Has allowed 2 hits, walked 1 batter, and has struck out just 1 batter.
And Chris, as she steps up to the circle, you've heard a little bit of cheering from the Ouachita dugout, and despite this hole that they're in, the Ouachita softball team has come together a lot more than they have in the past. I know we were talking about this earlier off camera, but this Ouachita team, while in a similar position to where they were last season with their record, this team has come together a lot more and has shown that they love the sport and they love playing together. And that definitely bodes well for the future. And just as a team, you love to have a team that comes together around themselves in hard times and is able to pick momentum back up. And right now, in a big hole, they still have a chance. They still always will have a chance to win this one. But if not this one, they still have that last game of the series where last weekend they picked up a win against Harding, and this weekend they're hoping they can do the same thing. Just a team that does not care about what their record is or what the score is. They still will support and stand for each other no matter what.
Yeah, the team chemistry it's pretty glaring, and in a good way for Ouachita. Win or lose, they're going to support each other, like you said, and they're going to still be as loud as they were to start the game. And they're very supportive of all their teammates, whether it's someone that's been playing here for 4 years or has only played in 4 games. Now here's the pitch. And that's going to be popped to left field. Is it going? Oh, what a grab. I believe that is Bonehill out in left field. Yes, it is. It's Aaron Bonehill in left field for Oklahoma Baptist. What a grab. That looked like it was going to be up against the wall and at least would have been a double or maybe a triple for Riley Gillis, but unfortunately, Bonehill did make that grab. So now Jordan Merritt batting for the Tigers. That will be strike number 1.
And the Tigers have not seen too many lineup changes, which is very different from what the Bison have done today. They have changed a lot in their lineup, but the Tigers mostly sticking with their same batting order and the players that they have today.
Well, the entire outfield for Oklahoma Baptist is new. Zoe Johnson is in right field. Asia Shirey is in center field, and like I said, Bonehill is out in left as she was chasing after that foul ball.
Merritt, that blasts it out to the left side. Maybe a omen of things to come if she can get her bat on that.
But there are only 3 players that started this game that are still in the lineup out on the field for Oklahoma Baptist, and that will be the second out of the inning by Allie Ryan, making the grab and then passing it over to Warden. Like I said, there's only 3 players that started this game that are still out on the field for Oklahoma Baptist. Allie Ryan, Emily Adler, and Shelby Warden out in the infield. Megan Roberts is at second, and Haley Stanford is at catcher.
going back to that last play, what a grab by Orion. The right-handed grab right as it just went right past that third base line. And she's able to backhand grab it, and then just a beautiful throw across the infield to record the second out of this inning.
And that will be the final out of the inning and the final out of this ball game. So Oklahoma Baptist takes the second straight win against the Tigers, winning 10-2 here in game 2 of this and game 1 of this Saturday afternoon doubleheader. I will not be on the call for game 2, or well, technically game 3, but it will be Isaac Bourne as your play-by-play and color commentator. But again, the final score is 10-2 here at Pete Langston Field, and Ouachita fought all game long. That's definitely for sure. But of course, the 7 runs in the first inning by Oklahoma Baptist, it's going to be hard to ever come back from a deficit like that, especially so early on. But let's see if Ouachita can play even better in game 3. So this has been Chris Gay and Isaac Bourne as your commentators today. Thank you very much for tuning in. And of course, be safe out there. Have a great day, and go Tigers.